story. A hollow train. There are roads people avoid at night, tunnels whispered about, but never entered, rivers crossed only by daylight. But there is something older than roads, older than tunnels, older even than the first bridges over running water. There are tracks. And sometimes, when the night is still enough and the air is thin enough, those tracks come alive again. The hollow train is not bound to rails anymore. It appears where tracks once lay, where sleepers still remember the vibration of iron wheels. A forgotten station, a crumbling bridge, an abandoned cut through the hills places the world has moved past, but memory has not. That is where the hollow train feeds. Its whistle is the first sign, not the sharp blast of a modern locomotive, but a low, hollow wail, the sound of rusted pipes exhaling across the dark. It slides through the silence, faint at first, then growing louder until it fills the air like a storm. The ground trembles, the shadows stretch, and then the engine comes into view. But it is not an engine any man has built. The hollow train is steel and rust. Yes, but it is also more. Its wheels are too many, grinding against the earth where no rails remain. Its body is patchwork, stitched together from cars of different eras. Wood siding splintered against riveted iron, windows mismatched like teeth in a rotten mouth. Smoke pours from its stack, but the smoke is blacker than night, thick and wet, falling rather than rising. And if you look closely, you see the truth. The train is not just made of metal. The seams between the cars pulse. The joints between the wheels flex like tendons. What looks like rust is sometimes blood. What looks like iron plates is sometimes stretched flesh, hammered flat, bolted into place. The hollow train is alive, and it is hungry. Those who see it too long find themselves pulled closer, not by force, but by something worse, a compulsion, a need to step aboard. It doesn't matter if the station is rotted, if the platform is weeds and moss, if the doors of the cars gape like wounds. The victim climbs inside, the doors shut, and the hollow train screams into the night, carrying them away to somewhere no one has ever returned from. Those who resist are not spared. The hollow train hunts. Its whistle bends through alleys and highways, through fields and suburbs, until the chosen are cornered. Some find themselves standing on tracks that should not be there, steel rails gleaming in the moonlight where there was only grass before. They hear the whistle behind them. The ground vibrates. And then the hollow train arrives, roaring out of the dark, swallowing them whole. The passengers are never seen again in life. But sometimes, pieces of them are glimpsed when the hollow train passes. Faces pressed against fogged windows, mouths stretched in silent screams. Hands gripping frames, skin fused to iron. Once human eyes peering from the sockets of headlights, forever watching the rails ahead. The hollow train does not simply carry its victims. It absorbs them. Every trip makes it stronger. Every soul fuels its endless motion. Some claim the train is a punishment, a machine of hell that escaped into our world. Others say it was born from all the blood spilled on the rails across history workers crushed, travelers derailed, suicides who leapt in front of engines. That grief and violence fermented until the steel itself came alive, a predator forged from tragedy. Whatever its origin, its purpose is clear. The hollow train hunts, consumes, and never stops. Legends speak of those who have heard it but not seen it. A whistle in the distance on nights when no train runs. A rumble beneath the floorboards of houses built where old tracks were torn up. The faint smell of coal and blood on the wind. These are warnings. Stay inside. Do not follow the sound. Do not seek the source. Because if you do, you might find yourself standing at a station that should not exist. Travelers reported appearing suddenly where a parking lot should be, where a field stretched empty a moment before. Gaslights burning, benches slick with rain, though the sky is clear. A timetable posted, its letters shifting like worms. destinations written in languages no one speaks. And beyond, a platform. And beyond that, the hollow train, hissing steam that tastes of iron and ash. Step aboard, and you are gone. The hollow train does not travel the routes of men. Its tracks are wrong, curving too sharply, looping through landscapes that should not exist. Sometimes it roars through cities of bone, skyscrapers made of vertebrae and skulls. Sometimes it plunges into tunnels of raw flesh, walls pulsing with veins, stalactites dripping blood. Sometimes it rides across endless plains of ash, where black stars hang too low, too bright, in a sky that has never known the sun. And always, inside, the passengers scream. The cars are not seats and aisles, but cages, hooks, chains. Rows of bodies hung like meat, swaying with the rhythm of the wheels. Some still move, eyes rolling, lips trembling against stitched mouths. Others are already part of the structure, arms stretching into rails, spines bending into support beams. The train feeds on them slowly, keeping them alive long enough to feel every moment of their transformation. Those who survive longer tell of hearing a conductor's voice. Not words, but sounds like gears grinding, like bones snapping. The announcements echo through the cars, meaningless and yet undeniable, commanding silence, commanding obedience. Few can resist. Those who do are broken apart and remade into new parts of the machine. The hollow train collects, builds, grows, and it always returns. Stories say it circles back every 20 years, sometimes sooner, sometimes later. Always at night, always where the tracks used to be. The old rails remember, and the train follows memory like blood follows a scent. Small towns vanish, families disappear. Those who remain speak of hearing a whistle in the dark and never seeing their neighbors again. Authorities explain it away fires, floods, crime, but the survivors know better. They know the sound of wheels on tracks that should not exist. They know the shadows that stretch too long across the ground. They know the hollow train, and now you know it too. So if you ever hear a whistle in the distance, when no train should run, close your ears, close your eyes, stay inside. Because the hollow train does not just carry the dead, it makes them. And once you are part of its engine, there is no coming back. The hollow train never stops. It only hungers.